Hi, Phillip Long here with BIS Technology Group. And we are continuing on with our defense in depth strategy. And I'll tell you guys, this is the heart of good networking. And I'm going to tell you, secure networks, they have less problems. They have more uptime and they run more effective and more efficient. So the things that I've shared here literally took me all of these years, all of these almost 18 years of doing this to develop these things. If I would have known these things when I first started, I probably could have swamped Bill Gates, but we don't know what we don't know. So today what we want to talk about is mobile device management. And mobile device management is one of the overlooked things that are in the market today. Employees, we call it BYOD, bring your own device. We're allowing our employees to put our data, our email, our files on their personal phones. And then of course, if we have our own phones that we distribute out to our key employees or to all employees or however you're structured, mobile devices are one of the biggest risks because they're mobile. And I'm going to lump in under mobile devices, of course, USB sticks and external hard drives and tablets, laptops. These devices that are mobile that contain pertinent information. The next part of this series, I'm going to talk about data loss prevention. And it's huge because the problem with things is that this data that we have for many of us and almost all companies, but especially companies who have personal identifiable information, from clients, you are held accountable for the protection of that data. And I'll put on a series about compliance to talk about some of the industries and how that looks. But for now, let's talk about a USB stick that you're moving files back and forth. And I was on a particular case for a plastic surgeon where one of the marketing people took a USB stick with before and after pictures of people that they were doing surgery on. And that they lost that stick. Now, as we know it, those pictures haven't showed up that anybody's ever come to me or they've shared with me. But that data is now out in the wild. And we have no idea where it is. And that's really the way it is with data, is that once it's out in the wild, there's no putting it back in the bottle. And I always talk to people, I do HIPAA risk assessments and other types of risk assessments for varying folks for compliance. And I think that a lot of times they see it as a big government stepping in and kind of lording over them, which I get it, they do, and there's areas that's nonsensical. But in these areas where you have personal identifiable information of your clients and you are not handling it well, you own the responsibility of it. And one other thing to mention about that is oftentimes it's not the office manager who's going to get in trouble, at least maybe civilly, but not legally. It's going to be the doctor. It's going to be the business owner, upper management if it's in a big environment. So a lot of times we, as business owners, we relinquish the responsibility down to a level and we don't watch it, and ultimately that level doesn't give us protection. It gives us ultimately vulnerability and risk if they're not doing it correctly. So it's very important. Mobile device management is the #1 way that data was lost. I know in 2016, I don't know about 2017 because I haven't seen that stat, but just think about whenever you're doing that. Well, how do you protect against that? Well, you really need encryption is key. If you're in the medical field, for instance, and you lose a tablet that is encrypted, it is a non-reportable event. That is how good encryption is today. So we need to really recognize two things. One is data in motion. There's a way that you can protect data in motion. Let's say with a remote worker or something like that. And then static data at rest. And there's two different ways that you need both, but you need to really know and have somebody who understands that type of technology and understand what products need to be used in order to protect that type of technology. Again, Mobile device management is one of the leading ways that data gets lost, and it is one of, and likely it's because it's one of the most ways that that it's happening. It's in real world. It's because people overlook it. They're not thinking about that. So we want to focus on that. If you need help with this, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd be happy to give you, I've written papers about it. I have information about it. There is very cost-effective ways to protect your data at rest and in motion, and they're not hard to manage, and they simply just work. So share this if you have colleagues that you think are friends that you think would benefit from this, or comment. You can always email me at plong@askbis.com. I will get to you, and I will respond, and we'll get something that will that'll help move the ball ahead to help with your security and effectiveness as a business owner. Thank you for watching.